Hello again. So for the past week I've let over 100 players do almost whatever they want on a server with the only rule being no hacking. With these mods this ended up being a 5-day race to get the best technology and slaughter everyone with it. Some of the players here you might recognize, like I go by lots of names, Super Obama, and LeClown. Notable mods include Timeless and Classics Guns, Create, Mechanism, and Avaridia to allow players to eventually become gods, nuking the whole server. I'm not allowed to interfere beyond fixing any problems with the pack and banning hackers, and on the 18th of May the event started. So at the start of the event I forgot to preload since I thought there would be around 30 people, but then the premiere started and over 100 people started loading chunks in all directions. So after spending 2 hours fixing that, I restarted the server and the event truly began. The first team I noticed was this group of nomads, including I go by lots of names, from now on referred to as Igblon.
I will choose Skibbity Toilet, because I'm Sigma, and Creeper. Goodbye.
I didn't know at the time, but this was only a fragment of their team, later known as Albania. While they were waiting for a chunk to load, I decided to mess with them by placing an uncharged infinity nuke, since I didn't know they could be picked up. It's a low level one, it won't kill anyone. He really wants it. And then I'm gonna give them the rarest item in the game. Tall grass. Rarest item, genuinely. What? Oh no. Oh, he can pick it up. So I /cleared him. Then another team I noticed was a team who I think was led by G-Toilet. I asked for a team name from G-Toilet and person unnamed, and they gave me 2 different names. So I'll just call them unnamed team, since that's what I kept calling them on recording, and I was familiar with unnamed from my server, which is nuked by the way. I found this group of players running in the forest, including this guy, who I'll just call First. I found a solo player who I will call DD, but later I realized he too was not solo and would form one of the best create bases I've ever seen. A group including Science Demon, NDLD, Trainvoy, and Way Too Adored had settled under the ground. I didn't know this yet, but these guys, the PGS, would be the first to cheat. One last important team was these two. At the time I thought nothing of them, they just looked like another 2 friends trying to stay hidden. While I found all these teams, people were advancing through progression quite quickly. Super Obama reached Igblon's base and got everyone organized. Before he arrived, they made the first machine, a fan, to make dough for bread easier. This meant food wasn't a problem for the progression Obama was about to push them through. He had a plan to get a metallurgic infuser and an enrichment chamber, the first mechanism machines, by the end of the day, which was super ambitious since there were 2 whole tech mods separating them from that. So he got a line of large water wheels and create machines together. He also knew about a small progression skip to bypass the press by casting plates with the smeltery and allowing them to jump straight into immersive engineering with a heated mixer making coke bricks. At the same time, one of their teammates, Badburn, made it to their base after some murder at spawn.
He's a traitor, kill him.
He had gone to the Nether Fortress and got all the blaze rods they needed along with some wither skeleton skulls, allowing them to ignore the Nether for quite a while. Since Super Obama also looted a village along the way to Albania, they already had an engineer's workbench, unlocking electron tubes to make a mechanical crafter and crushing wheels all in just 2 hours. But I asked him about this and he's actually quite disappointed at their slowness. This guy's crazy. But there was a huge problem that had been going on since the start. When I made the server I expected around 30 people to be on at once, but on day 1 I think a total of 80 people joined and the server's CPU couldn't handle it. Soon I learned the main problem with TPS was actually mob spawning, and I turned it off to save the server. But because of this, nobody could get blaze burners, so I had to come up with other methods of letting people get these. Well, I just allowed a blood sacrifice. Other people just chose to give me meth. I ended up with 22 meth by the time we ended the server, which is amazing considering that each player is only given 1 at the start of the pack, and only half the server claimed that free meth. It's around this point the PGS got raided. Oh, this is a raid. Oh no. Andre Arrow had burned down the tree farm and taken all the create machines, forcing them to move 200 blocks east. This is when they started abusing toolboxes in various ways, but I couldn't yet prove they were cheating, since I was dumb. Wow, they have a lot. I'm a bit suspicious of these guys. Then at the very end of the day, Igblon began building a massive platform in the sky, presumably to move to in the future. Three coke ovens, fully automated too. To start the new day, Super Obama got his team together and began rapidly progressing again. Albania almost had all of its members at the base and had made 6 coke ovens and 4 blast furnaces. They also had other small factories popping up for small automation of other things. Auto-seared stone factory? Badburn had some loot from other bases near spawn and had a fully enchanted set of armor, while a lot of the people at the base were settling for cheaper things like cobalt or iron. This team had definitely focused on their military power as well, being the first team to get guns, and even before that giving everyone cleavers that are basically normal axes on steroids. This was all because a lot of their team joined for one purpose: destroy unnamed team. This team was possibly their main competition, as G-Toilet had pushed the team very far. But Super Obama just wanted to kill Person Unnamed for reasons I won't get into. Because of this military mindset, Super Obama wanted to get into Mechanism to get Refined Obsidian, which is the second best armor in the game, so he got his team to make a metallurgic infuser with all the steel they had at this point. Then they made an industrial squeezer to make hot graphite for the enrichment chamber, opening up Mechanism, and with this machine, allowing the team to gear up with osmium armor, which is basically diamond armor but really cheap. At the same time, progress was being made on infrastructure, with a gravel-based iron factory being set up under this hill, a precision mechanism factory, and a tree farm in the corner. This all culminated in their small AE2 system, using the first Duroplast the server had seen. Wandering Hero and Badburn had also beat the game to get everyone Elytras, even though they could have just used jetpacks, but I don't know, maybe they just wanted to further assert dominance. Then I decided to take a look at DD's team to see that they had started building large-scale create factories and farms. This team has a lot of really interesting factories, like this one using all the mechanisms. They had also made their way to a coke oven as well, since most other teams were around that level in progression. One of these other teams was IDK, a team who had formed out of the previously mentioned Two Friends in a Hole. They had grown a lot and done a sudden expansion using a create drill to dig their base all the way into this tunnel, where they started placing their new machinery. They also got a group chat for their now 3 members to start organizing progression, and they had a much different background, with only one of their members ever having played GregTech, meaning most of these guys were create and mechanism veterans. They got all the way up to steel production earlier than any team, excluding Albania. Now unnamed team decided to move to a well-hidden location to prevent exploits or the map from revealing their base, and they started to get their coke oven and blast furnaces lined up, but even though they took extra precautions to make sure their base was hidden, they had put coords in their group chat, which was when Super Obama's spy sent it to Albania, giving them the exact location of their target. Another team forced to hide like this was the late Blood Sacrifice gang, since a player known as Andre had raided them and taken all of their stuff. Oh, that is unfortunate. At this time, every team had made it to steel production, and there are also some other small bases around this time from many groups, but unfortunately most of them were too small or insignificant to make it in this video, so I will showcase my favorites here. I think they're online. Oh, he's online. Oh, there's another base we just found. They got 3 coke ovens, fully automated too. Oh, these guys are actually a good contender. They're in mechanism now. But I don't think they're online. Oh, he's online.
Here,
Oh wow. You can see everything they're working on. They have mechanism. Oh, this guy's doing great for a solo player. Yeah, this is how to do solo in a competitive experience. Alright, test it. Test it. You had to check. Oh no! These guys have quite a bit of technology now. So for the next couple of hours, all the teams progressed with nothing too significant happening, until I confirmed the PGS cheating. Super Obama told me about a dupe and had a video showing what it looked like. This is exactly what the PGS had, and even though they tried to hide it behind some furnaces, I'm in spectator mode, so the system looks even more suspicious. I try to /fill the thing out of existence, but they take down the duper and blamed Super Obama for its discovery, even though all he did was tell me what to look for. So because of this, they got their duped guns, armor, and ammo, and ran to Igblon's base, which they somehow had the coordinates of. On the way, Trainvoy kept speed hacking and is now permanently banned from all future Chaos Techs, along with most of the PGS after this date. This attack was the first important battle, and shit, he's hacking again. Despite this, the attack changed everything. Raw Havoc got banned with an Albanian A2 cell on him, and a PGS member posted the cords on the unofficial event server. Because of this, IDK, First, and Kotik all had their own plans of trolling Albania. IDK didn't really care that much, but First and Kotik were two homeless players with their only chance being this raid. So Kotik ran in, and the only footage of this event was by Igblon, with a whole 10 pixels showing on screen. This was unfortunate for Kotik, but worse for Albania, since now they had a rat problem. Recorded this guy taking 2 of them, but I don't know where the rest went. Day 3 began with Albania taking down all of their machines and leaving. Leaving the world border, that is, the team was still just as active after the raid, and now are more confident in destroying all the other teams. So let's catch up on those other teams. Didi had gotten really advanced, and I thought he was cheating, but I just never saw their base at the right time to see that they had 4 members using their massive create factories all at once. Seriously, these guys had the server's best iron farm, best tree farm, powering the best biogenerator wall. They kept adding more and more systems throughout the event. IDK was also making some huge leaps in progress, as they had Duroplast and soon made a more advanced mechanism factory beside a 6-cell A2 system, making them temporarily the most advanced team on the server. But they too soon had to move their base, since a guy by the name of Killer Mike had leaked their cords. The next day though, Killer Mike would be their 5th and last member. Unnamed team got 2 mechanical arms, presumably for the NASA work. Well, not presumably, and they named it that. They got an oxygen loader. They got tons of stuff around here. This base sort of just speaks for itself. It's really cramped still though. Hold on, I was about to leave, and then Super Obama's team just found a base for disassembling this place. They are efficient, honestly. They just split up and took everything. So before Albania settled down, I put the ME cell that the PGF stole at spawn for anyone to take, since the guy who stole it was banned. The person who got it was way too adored, the only raider I didn't ban, and they ended up on Albania, presumably because they were a spy the whole time. Once they all got together, they used minecart contraptions to pick up and destroy huge sections of the cave they were settling in. They made a little living room and started rebuilding their factory. I need light. Why am I dining in like an underground factory? Albania was once again the most advanced team, and they almost had a diesel generator, which was apparently the preferred power generation for both Albania and IDK. IDK would be around that point as well, but most of their machines were in someone's inventory at this point. But a team I haven't mentioned in a while is Unnamed Team. This group had speedrun their way to several multi-blocks and a semi-automatic Duraplast production. They also used their mechanism progress to make a digital miner and ethylene setup, much like Albania. Unlike Albania, however, they had spent everything rushing to space. Super Obama knew they had been progressing fast and set a goal to strike them before they reached space. Just caught the Igblon team making suspicious substances. I know there's red phosphorus in there and some white stuff and But now Super Obama was ready for some action. I had mentioned in chat that nothing interesting had happened in a while, and Obama took this as a challenge. He knew Unnamed Team was unprepared for an invasion on the scale of Albania's team, and he was confident that a raid can take out the base without a single loss. So he told me that they were leaving, and I sat there watching them prepare. For a whole hour. Eventually they started moving and set a portal directly on the base's coordinates. They got the portal through. They're all in here now. Oh, they know. They think they've secured the base? Oh, G-Toilet is here. Oh, he's gonna try what he can. Oh. Albania continued the attack even after all the machines were gone, partially lava casting some parts of the base after blowing up the base with 3 different kinds of explosives. The attack made the team understandably quite mad and blamed me for some reason. I genuinely don't remember why. Eventually things settled down and the team was officially out of the event. But to assert dominance, Albania had also landed on the moon in the middle of the raid. But it's fine, because I don't think they're gonna explode. Yep, Igblon team has made it to the moon, first team on the moon. IDK challenged this though. They set up in a new cave, their more mechanism-experienced team began flying through progression, and even made this wonderful contraption. How does this actually work? They're getting tons of cobblestone from there. Just getting crushed into gravel, then getting crushed into sand. So it's just a clay factory? Didi's team was now getting biogenerators and several small machines to complement their create factory. A member of Didi's team had guns and refined obsidian, and found an exploit using our pipe mod to locate any advanced base. So he started a purge of bases, beginning the Oringo Reign of Terror. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Soon, another major game-changing event happened. The raid of Mizaki's base. Albania had found the base and they took everything, so when Mizaki found an obituary from Badburn leading to Albania's base, he started searching there for the next 5 hours. A team willing to help was LeClown's team, which had made it very far, but I haven't mentioned them since they had questionable legitimacy at this point. But either way, they were technically the most advanced team, with a gas burner setup, machine line, and the best guns since they had nether stars. So these guys have dedicated their life to just finding bases. It is now day 4 and the exploit era of chaos begins. Rumors spread of Didi and LeClown cheating, and while I didn't have enough evidence to ban them, people decided that they were cheating, so this gave them pressure to also cheat. The server only had 20 players online each day, so the server was barely being held together. But I knew whatever I did, the video would be boring, so I hoped there weren't as many cheaters as suspected, and continued what would become the last day. One thing I knew for sure was Albania's legitimacy. Super Obama had worked his way to a fission reactor even though Albania was really not ready for one, but this just shows they're not mechanism players. I ended up talking to him for an hour after day 3, showing him mechanism mechanics, and he eventually had a manual setup for the reactor with a turbine. IDK was now the best team, with auto-crafting for most major components, including this cool setup for immersive engineering automation. And then, oh, they're also automatically doing this. Now this is what Chaos Tech was intended to be. Because of this, they had the auto-crafting level of my E2E base, which either says they're good, or I'm bad. That's for you to decide. They also used their drill to support the resources for a much stronger fission reactor than Albania's. Deity's team also reached their final form at this point, as they were now dedicated to the search for bases. They found my favorite mini-team, Andre. They also found Incendo's base, which was my second favorite mini-team, for their blood sacrifice on day 1. Most importantly, they found the Clown's base. The Clown's base was raided, he's trying to fight the guy who took it. And took all the likely duped machines. Because of this, the Clown went to Albania's base and did nothing. Once he eventually came to the surface with some gear taken with permission, he proceeded to dupe one God Apple into 64 in just 10 seconds, right in front of me. But a while later, one of his teammates, or possibly an alt account, ran into the base and started breaking every single machine, including the fission reactor. Oh, he's an idiot. He's gonna die of radiation. He's just trying to destroy it, he's not even trying to steal it. Wow, okay. Then I realized this account was also cheating, but didn't do anything since they had most of Albania's stuff. They then proceeded to set up on the surface above Albania's radioactive ruins, but quickly got interrupted by an Albania member. The server had collapsed into chaos, with half of the teams being wiped out and only 3 Albania members online. Really, the only hideout of safety was IDK, since Oringo was unlucky with his exploit. So after this, I announced the server's early end. I told everyone that they just had a couple hours to prepare before fighting me in a random location on the map. Whichever team gets the final hit wins.
Contrary to popular belief, when Hecuba placed down the infinity nuke instead of me picking it up, it was my teammate who picked it up, so when he cleared my inventory we still had the weapon of mass destruction. This would prove to be a great mistake of his, as now we had technology greatly exceeding what we previously had, which gave us the ability for immense destruction.
It's okay though, since Calalex killed me again, meaning Albania did officially win. I do want to give a shout out to IDK. Their base was the most advanced and had a really cool growth by day 3. Looking past the cheaters, this was a really cool event, and I hope to do it again with much more moderation, and requirements to be allowed in the server to prevent this from happening again.